It's that time again for another unboxing or another store find. Let's go. First up, Goodwill. Once again, one of my favorite places to shop, especially the thrift store parts where things are cheaper. Now, I ain't no longer paying $5 for a VHS tape at a place that I'm going to personally. That's like shipping and handling prices and crap. But I'm thinking about getting me a vinyl player. I'm actually am. Starting out my small collection first with cheap records. Keep in mind, the regular retail places would sell the vinyl re-releases for $20-something at least. But if you go to Goodwill or Second and Charles place, you don't have to pay nearly as much. These are one of the only few people that I'm familiar with, artists that I'm familiar with during this time frame. You know, this record is from the 1970s. And Al Green's like one of the only people that I really know about. You know, Al Green CD. And look at all of these. Shaka Khan Greatest Hits. Motown Remix. Suicide Squad soundtrack. Millennial Funk Party Mixtape. Yep. It's basically a late 90s release of classic hits from yesteryear. Let's see what the album, hopefully, maybe this will be a poster. Or not. One thing I like about these physical instruction booklets for video games and whatnot, or booklets with CDs, the artwork. Case in point, y'all should check out Kanye West's albums, especially his earlier albums, with the artwork that being his little booklets that come with his albums. Motown Mix Volume 2. See if I'm familiar with any of these people. Temptations, of course. Jackson 5, of course. Diana Ross, of course. Marvin Straight or Gay, of course. Smokey Robinson. Smokey Rock. Good Lord, that dude been in the music business for 100 goddamn years. Come at me. So yeah. I've learned to love these CDs, yo. I love these mix CDs. Before things were easily downloadable on the internet, you had to get mix CDs the regular way that you got regular CDs, you know. It's one of the things I like about these dance mix CDs, especially from the late 90s, is that it perfectly, at least sound-wise, perfectly, at least for me, perfectly captures, in a time capsule type of manner, perfectly captures the sound that you would typically feel and hear vibe-wise from the late 90s. Whenever you would go to just like regular parties out of nowhere that wasn't like necessarily hip-hop centric or anything like that, it just perfectly captures that sound. Or a case in point example, for a lot of y'all who are video game fans, for when you play old video games from the PlayStation 1 era, a lot of video games on that system at that time, PlayStation 1, during that time period, would have a lot of tunes and stuff and beats from CDs like this, that, you know, that techno sound. A lot of art, like New Edition, Mary J. Blige, 112, Coolio. Contrary, I'm gonna say this right now. Contrary to the media popular, you know, way of thinking that everybody's thinking is that Coolio's a one-hit wonder, Gangsta's Paradise. Please, please. He didn't just do Gangsta's Paradise. Look at the goddamn Space Jam soundtrack for an example. He has like one whole song, and then he has a good verse in Hit 'Em High, the Monstars anthem. Look at the Kenan and Kel theme song. If you want to talk about hits, look at the one of the main songs off the Panther movie album. The Panther movie from 1995 that had Dwayne from A Different World and who would later have a guy from The Matrix who was, one of the first dudes that the dude with the curly hair that operated the Matrix system in the first Matrix movie. He was in Panther. So that soundtrack, one of the main songs off that soundtrack, Coolio was in. It was called Points. It had him. It had Coolio. It had Biggie, Bone Thugs, and Redman. I think a couple other people. So yeah, it's one of at least a handful of hits, in which most of them were singles, if not all of them were singles. So Coolio wasn't a one-hit wonder. It's just the media. Sometimes the media likes to screw people over, particularly the music industry. Unless you do some doggy enough of a fuddy-duddy deal with the highest ups in the music industry, then you'll, be more than a so-called one-hit wonder. But that's just my thoughts. This also has E40 on here, E40, that dude. And then, of course, the R, or the king of R&B, or the Pied Piper, whatever the hell you want to call him, Robert R. Kelly. Screw the controversy, whether he did it or not, I'll still listen to his music. Come at me. I mean, why are people, even if he did do it, most of these other mofos that y'all listen to anyway, whether it be an artist or whether it be some politicians that y'all like, probably got worse skeletons in the goddamn closet than even R. Kelly. So why y'all just going, R. Kelly's a predator, R. Kelly should get his balls cut off, R. Kelly this, R. Kelly that. But yet, y'all motherfucker would cheer for everybody else. What about all these other artists, especially in this day and age, whose main focus is rapping about popping mollies and popping this, shooting up this, drugs, drinking, doing whatever under the goddamn sun? Y'all not mad at these motherfuckers exposing this to the damn youth or just to this generation, but y'all mad at fucking R. Kelly. What kind of fucking logic is that? Just my fucking thoughts. But this is a good CD. And I also have Dance Mix 97 and the To This version of Dance Mix 98. I'm not sure if it's the same company that released both versions of Dance Mix 98, but nonetheless. And R. Kelly's on that version of Dance Mix 98 as well with I Believe I Can Fly. Except without the long-ass intro. Suicide Squad soundtrack. Can't wait to listen to this eventually. Got Ricky Rose, got Lil Wayne, Wiz Khalifa, Imagine Dragons. Hopefully they have actual verses in this song and not just woo and just humming the whole damn time. Like in Transformers Age of Extinction. Come at me. Ty Dolla $ign, let's see now. Kevin Gates, I barely know enough of who he is. Got an old Eminem song from, the Marshall Mathers, the Eminem Show time period, 2002. Sometimes they bring back old songs if it's relevant for the movie. Just like X Gon' Give It To You came out like in 2004-ish from the Cradle to the Grave movie soundtrack, but they brought it back for the 2010s era of the first Deadpool movie. To the point where even you saw DMX come out to perform wearing a damn jacket with a picture of Deadpool on it. So sometimes older songs can be relevant in the current day and age. So yeah. And then last but not least, Shaka Khan's greatest hits. She looks freaking pretty in this. At least for the picture that they used for this. Greatest hits. And Through the Wire is my favorite song off here. And then fun fact, just for those who, may not even remember, I want to be reminded. Kanye West's first single off of the College Dropout, Through the Wire, is a homage and samples from this. To where even at the end of the video, he kind of says thank you. Looks at a big picture of Shaka Khan. I think it's this exact same picture that they used in the video. He looks at it and says thank you. Kisses and peace and love. So this was an influence on him. I love CDs and music. And don't get it twisted. I'm not just, a person that listens to positive R&B feel good music. Sometimes when I'm in the mood, even if I'm not a dancer or whatnot, even when I'm just in a mood to just listen to something, I might at least briefly listen to something either crunk or wherever else outside of just positive hip hop and R&B. Depends on the mood and the situation. Just don't, listen to something super negative or super positive to the point where you end up doing more harm than good. Like listen to enough positive, too much positive to the point where you end up looking like a nice guy or a wimp or something, if that's even possible. And at the same time, don't listen to too much quote unquote negative music to the point where you end up wanting to do harm to others or to yourself or whatever the case. So find a balance. So these were my second set or other set of Goodwill finds, other than the stuff I showed last video. Now, oh wait, one more. Now that's what I call Music 1983. I swear to God, not 1983, but the 83rd volume of this. But the CD came out 2012. Now, once again, don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted that I just listen to positive music. At the same time, don't get it twisted that I just listen to music from the 90s, early 2000s, and yesteryear. If something appeals to me, sounds good, I hear enough about it to where I feel like going out to search for specific songs of today or within past 5 years or so, or if I just want to broaden my horizons a bit and take a risk, if you want to call it that, I'll go out and get something newer, if not new. So this is 2012. A pivotal year in entertainment, period, to be honest. Starting with cartoons and stuff, cartoons, the Hub Network, Toonami coming back, Transformers Prime and all that took place or was at its zenith or peak in 2012, as well as, a lot of artists and songs and stuff, and Nicki Minaj and whoever else was at a pivotal point in their career or a high point in their career in 2012. Similar to the year 1999. That might be another topic for a video or something, but a lot of artists that came out at this point. Taylor Swift, I kind of know who that is. Maroon 5, Flo Rida, Neo. Some people who are already established but were still making music. Katy Perry, Pink. Pink. Coming on, any better get this one. Her. Nicki Minaj. A lot of artists. Trey Songz was still making music. Chris Brown, of course. I thought I was about to say Naughty by Nature. But yeah. Let's look at the album artwork. Yeah. If you want to support their actual, albums where these songs came from or were soon to be in. Yeah, I might go on eBay one day and just search up dance mix CDs and get some. Basically mixtapes. They were like dance mixtapes, music mixtapes, and in essence, video game mixtapes in the form of demo discs. Which kind of reminds me, PlayStation 1 made demo discs, PlayStation 2 made demo discs, I think PlayStation 3 made some demo discs. The original Xbox had demo discs and maybe the 360. But why the hell didn't the Nintendo 64 make demo cartridges? Have a 1999 demo cartridge with the entire intro and everything of like WrestleMania 2000 and be able to pick, you can be able to go through the roster but be able to pick 2 wrestlers. Or at least 4 wrestlers and have a tag team match or something. I mean, that's kind of my thoughts. Yeah, like briefly have a demo cartridge with like WrestleMania 2000, and you know, be able to pick a course in Mario Kart 64 or wherever the case, depending on what theme you want to have for that cartridge. But they had video game demo discs, aka mixtapes or whatever, and they had basically mixtapes for music. So I have a few of these with artists and whatnot who are around from basically today's day and time going all the way back to, you know, the 90s. These were my Goodwill finds. And I went to Walmart today, because every Black Friday they'll have DVDs on sale. I guess you can almost call it like a fire sale or a liquid sale or whatever. Finally got the newest Men in Black movie featuring Thor and his girlfriend from the MCU. The regular DVD version. They didn't have the Blu-ray, digital, and DVD version, which will only be a couple of dollars more, because the yellow tags like this are only like $3 something. But the black tape sticker is $5.98 plus tax. But I got that. I have Spider-Man Far From Home, so at this point I have both of the MCU Spider-Man movies. Yeah. Might have a movie night. Who knows? DVD, digital, and Blu-ray. I need to get me a Blu-ray player because my PlayStation 3s keep dying on me. And Venom. See what I did there? Yep. And I haven't seen this movie yet, but it looks decent. At least from the artwork. And people say, well, why does he have a Spider-Man symbol on his chest? Well, Venom, fun fact, Venom, or any symbiote, each host that the symbiote possesses, they gain some type of abilities from them. So in this universe, Venom hasn't gotten into contact with Spider-Man yet to get his webbing abilities or to get his Spider-Man emblem on his chest or to get spider senses and all that crap. So Eddie Brock was his first host in this. Maybe he'll take control of Spider-Man and then go back to possessing Eddie Brock. And then Eddie Brock will have his Spider-Man symbol and his webbing coming out of his doing this instead of this. But, yeah. It still looks good. And at this point, maybe I'm not as picky as I used to. You know, even a bad movie can take place in its own universe to where it's not like the comics or like the cartoon. And at the same time, it's a different interpretation. You know, us as fans just gotta learn how to not have the rose-colored glasses on, you know, or at least have a little bit more patience, or at the very least, try not to be quick to judge. Yeah, that's my point. Try not to be quick to judge. But yeah. So those are my Goodwill finds and Walmart finds. I'm still gonna try to do a Transformers / Fast and the Furious figure hunt. At the same time, with this Black Friday stuff going on, I might go to a couple of Walmarts, if not also Targets, for DVD sale hunts. Because why not? So, until next time, until next video, peace, stay out of trouble.